Hello, this is Estimating Products. This is Chapter 9, Lesson 2 from the Nelson Math Focus textbook. I'm Mr. Burko and this is your Grade 6 Math Cast. Let's get going. Our goal today is to multiply decimal hundredths by one-digit numbers using different strategies. So I'm going to show you two different strategies today. And since we're talking about buying soap, I found a picture of some fancy soap back here. That's the kind of soap that you probably don't want to use, it's so fancy. Alright, the question in the textbook that is being asked is how much will 3 bars of soap cost? Each bar of special soap costs $4.35. Must be pretty special. So I've got my base 10 blocks here, and this is the first strategy that we're going to show you is using base 10 blocks. You'll see that this one is representing the hundredths, or $1, because it's 100 cents. This is the tens, or a dime, because it's 10 cents. And these are ones, so they're 1 penny. We have our mat here that we're going to get ready to go. And I'm going to lay down the first $4. So you can see there's 4 squares here. $4, 30 cents, and 5 cents. So $4, 30 cents, and 5 cents. If I were going to buy 3 bars of soap, this represents 1 bar of soap. So here are 3 bars of soap. Those are the dollars. 3 bars of soap, there's the dimes. 3 bars of soaps, there's the pennies. Now, I can regroup these quite easily, so let's regroup them to make it a little bit easier. Take those pennies and move them to the dimes. That gives me 100 pennies in the dimes section, so or 10 bars in the dimes section. I can move that over to the hundreds, and that gives me all of those hundreds over there, and those hundreds that represent each $1. So your turn. Here's what I want you to do is I want you to add up the hundreds and add up the tens, which there are none of course, and add up the ones and tell me what you get. Pause the presentation. You don't need a calculator, just count them with your finger and let me know what you got. Alright, so hopefully you get the same answer as me. Here's what I got. Each bar of soap costs $4.35. The total cost is $1,305. That's what's represented here with my base 10s, or in other words, $13.05. The way we can do this just with numbers and take the base 10 blocks out of it, because we may not always have those around, is to write $4.35. There's the multiplied symbol, and there's a 3. Now, this is kind of the old school of way of doing it. We're going to carry the ones, and I'll show you a different way to do it right after. Okay, I'm going to take that decimal out of there because we really don't need it. One way or the other, it's there. We can add it later as long as we remember that it was there. I'm going to multiply 3 times 5. That's going to give me a 5 here. I'm going to carry the 1 up to the top here. Then I'm going to multiply 3 times 3. All of these 3 numbers get multiplied by that bottom number. 3 times 3. That equals 9, but because I carried that 1, I have to write a 0 here, and I'm going to carry that 1 over there. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to multiply 4 times 3, or 3 times 4, and I had to carry that 1, so it's going to be 12 plus 1, that's 13. Going to remember my decimal, and so that puts back, sorry I don't want to go on here, I want to put my decimal back right there in the middle, so it's $13.05. Here's the other way of doing it. So we're going to write it, we keep the decimal in there, and we're going to multiply the numbers backwards. So 3 times 4 equals 12. We're just going to ignore the 35 for now. 3 times 3 equals 90 cents. Got to keep that decimal there. And then 3 times 5 equals 15 cents. So this is for people who maybe don't get the carrying ones, but you still end up having to regroup at the end because as you can see, this is almost $1. And I'm going to take the 10 cents from here. I'm going to group it as 1, and then I'm going to remember that there's 5 cents there. So that dollar becomes $13, and I still have to put those 5 cents on there. So one way or another, you're going to have to figure out, and you're going to have to regroup. 12 plus 90 plus 15 equals $13.05. You get the same answer. So thanks for joining me today. This has been Estimating Products, and I'll see you in the next lesson.